Interstate 64 isn't a place it's not a destination. It's just it's a pathway that you're taking. It's just more like you're headed into yourself, trying to get back into the center. However you get there is however you get there. Take your time, or you can go fast. However you got to do it, that's all we're trying to get to. Trying to help you get to your Interstate 64.
All right, TNS family, the Northern Star family, we got something new for you today. Well, people call it podcast, but we're gonna call it a Starcast because we're the Star family. You know, we're shining bright, we're leading people out of their bondage, right? When people get discouraged, they look up to the stars and think of all the things they could possibly be, right? That's exactly what we're here for. What's new today? Me and my brother Asad, or Forsyth, if you want to follow him on Instagram, we're bringing you the Innerstate 64. What is that? What the heck is an Interstate 64? Sounds like interstate, doesn't it?
It does.
That's where we got it from. This right here is just an introduction. We're going to introduce this thought, the Interstate 64, and tell you what it's about, tell you our purpose here, how we came up with the idea, and we're just going to get the ball rolling. You know, we're all about learning more. We're all about education and building our consciousness here. Growth, yes sir. And we don't stop growing. So that's what we're here for. Today, like I said, it's just an introduction. That's exactly what we'll be doing today. You got anything you want to say?
Nah, we just gonna go into it.
Get straight into it. Don't waste no time because time is all we have in this life, right? So let's get it. Alright, so we're just going to introduce ourselves, give you a little bit of our educational background. How can you trust us to teach you things, and how do you know we're going to pick the right things to teach you? And you'll see from where the content is coming from where the information is coming from. You know, if a house is built on a stable foundation, it's a good house. You can trust the house to give you everything you need, shelter, warmth, just comfort, all right? So we're gonna start. I'm gonna start.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Tell them where you're from.
Got you. So my name is Dox Cash. I'm 22. I'm from Hampton, VA, but I've been all around Virginia. Currently we're in ODU. I lived in Norfolk for a little bit, then went back to Hampton. So I just say I reside from Virginia. Yeah, I graduated high school 2016. Went to Hampton U the next year, 2017, but then dropped out in 2018. Didn't last long in college. Let me explain that I only dropped out because I seen that I was learning more outside of school personally than I was inside. Yeah, I felt like I was actually learning what I needed to learn instead of what they wanted to teach me. So that's my reason. It's not like I hated learning because I actually love learning. I learn something new every single day. So you can trust me to teach you what you need to know. What is my favorite subject? My favorite subject was math in school. That's just the way I think. I'm very analytical. I get it from my father, but I do have a creative left-brain mother who is very intuitive, so I got a little bit of that as well. If you want to know my favorite philosopher, it's hard just trying to pick one. Like I said, I want to learn every single thing. I want to learn from every single person. So I'll say my favorite two, which is Einstein and Aristotle. Aristotle, he had a couple nice quotes and theories that I follow. And I love Einstein's general relativity and quantum relativity theories. I love seeing how things relate to others in motion and in macro scales and micro scales. So that's a little bit about me. I call myself a philosopher because, like I said, I learn something new every single day. I'll never stop learning. Now we're going to see who Forsyth is, where he came from, and get to know a little bit of his educational background.
So for me, learning has always been something I feel like it was more self-taught than anything. I've had two intelligent parents, both in the military. One's an engineer, one works in logistics. So growing up in California, just felt like as a child I always used to watch Nat Geo or everything else. So in school that kind of translated, and my favorite subject was science and history kind of, but I hated reading. I hated reading. I did not like to read when I was in school, so everything else besides literature was my favorite. Kind of flipped when I got older, but math was easy to me, but I want to say that was my favorite. But as I got older, kind of like how Docs had his experience in college, when I came here, I started to add a little bit open mind, and things I felt like what I was learning was always repetitive. Like high school was repetitive from elementary or middle school. In college, we had these gen eds, and I was like, why am I taking these classes again and learning it? So me and my boys started talking. It was like, this is a scam. So we was learning and breaking down codes on the inside of school, and then just realizing we had to almost assimilate, because we can reject it, but being inside of a society that's built off certain principles, you have to live in that society, so you have to conform and break yourself down.
Right.
So I graduated 2016 as well in high school, and I'm currently on route for graduating, getting out of here in fall 21. So when that happens, I have my engineering degree and I'll be good, but I'll say my favorite philosopher would probably be Alan Watts, or I'm real political, like I said, history is my favorite, one of my favorite subjects, so I like Fred Hampton as well. Conscious thought used to get to me with history, because a lot of history I didn't understand, wasn't taught to me, so I took a lot of this stuff personal. It just made me like search, like, all right, what else don't they want me to know, like, or the upper echelon of society wanted me to know? Because also with Karl Marx is another person I like. There's so many philosophers out there, especially when it comes to politics, that you can just absorb a lot, but you know, you have to take everything with a grain of salt. But Karl Marx is one of the people that I actually was curious about, because you know, we live in a capitalist society, so what is the opposite saying? What is communism saying? I took a look at that, and socialist society isn't negative. We have a lot of negative examples with Stalin and, you know, the other guy, but as a whole, I feel like tribal communities were more socialist than anything. So I want to get back to a tribal society, you know what I'm saying, taking care of the person that's next to you. That's where I come from. I love just humanity as a whole. That's really it. That's why I want to get into Interstate 64, because that's where we're all trying to go. Interstate 64 isn't a place it's not a destination. It's just it's a pathway that you're taking. It's just more like you're headed into yourself, trying to get back into the center. You know, we're taught different things on the outside, and it gives us different like behaviors that we're not born into this world with. So getting back to self and trying to channel back into yourself is really the goal, no matter what it has to be. However you get there is however you get there. Take your time, or you can go fast. However you gotta do it, that's all we're trying to get to. Trying to help you get to your Interstate 64.
Yes, sir. So that's exactly what we're here for. We got, obviously, we're from the Hampton Roads area. So the Interstate 64 is an interstate that goes all through the Hampton Roads. So if you've been on the interstate, 99% of the time you're on Interstate 64 if you're going anywhere, up north or south. So that the Interstate 64 is showing where we reside, but if you ever think about it, on every single interstate, people are just moving, people are just going. People have a end goal, but they let the people around them dictate the speed that they go. In life, there isn't just one set speed. Everybody goes at their own personal pace, right? So you can't let the person next to you push you faster or make you slower than you're supposed to go. So here in Interstate 64, we're gonna, one, teach you the things that you need to know, and two, give you a pace at which you can operate the best. This Starcast, we like to call it, not a podcast, it's Starcast, because we're shedding light on things that need to be shown. We obviously, you see there's two black boys. This isn't going to be formal, this is going to be informal, this is going to be fun. We're going to try to we want you to like learning, because we love learning. We love learning more and implementing it into our lives. So we're trying to give you a platform where you would like to come back each and every day and learn some more. And if you want to know how energy works, right? Like the sun, for instance, when it radiates heat, the sun is millions of miles away from us, but we can still feel its heat. Where does the heat come from? The heat comes from a very condensed energy. We're trying to give you a core, give you a foundation that you can radiate energy from. Your own, yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This center, your own core, just period, point blank. And so you can go out and just be you.
And discover your own thing, you know what I'm saying?
Shed light on whatever you want.
That's the whole point. Like, whatever you show interest in, it's just about opening your highways or your freeway. Literally, like, just trying to open up yourself up to more ideas. We just have to change spaces.
Get another point of view, another perspective. We're gonna talk about that later. Because we had to recharge, we had to sit back and connect back to the energy source. Okay, we're gonna get it right back, and we ain't missing the step.
All I was trying to say was just change your perspective. You don't have to change it, but just get another outlook on what you are researching. Instead of looking up like videos that you usually watch on YouTube, whatever you do, instead of taking that time and being on Instagram just surfing, you might as well surf and look for a worldview that is different from yours and challenge your own view. Like, ask yourself, where am I at in my time and how I feel about what's going on within my area compared to what has happened or what this person is talking about. It's
about what you know, right? And just like Fasad said, we have to be realistic with ourselves. The way that you're living, is it really working out to the utmost, greatest potential, right? Is there spaces that you can work on, that you can improve on? You have to be realistic, because if you say, well, I'm a Christian, and the only way I can improve my state of being, my thought process, is if I think like a Buddhist. But I can't do that, I'm a Christian. So you're telling me, you found the cure to your cancer, but you don't want to take the medicine. That makes no sense at all. So we will be the source of information that you can constantly come back to learn more. And you don't have to tell your pastor, you don't have to tell your rabbi. Just come on, watch us, put on some headphones or something, I don't know. We ain't even doing nothing bad like that. We're actually trying to build the world. We're trying to make everybody one. We're trying to build love and togetherness like the world is meant to do. That's exactly what we're here for. So Interstate 64. We could talk for days about knowledge and learning more, but we're gonna get to the point.